everybody, thanks for stopping back by Wild Bird Creative. Instead of doing a tutorial today, I thought you might like to see my studio. I was down here tidying up a bit and just kind of thought, well, while it looks nice, how about if I show you what things are like here? Now, I used to have a studio in an old mill building and it was great, but now it's just in my basement. But I have the whole basement to myself except for the furnace. So that works out really well. I can make a mess. I don't have to clear off anything in order to get dinner on the table. But how about if I just show you some little areas where I work? Here is my work table. Now all it is just two sawhorses and a piece of 4x4 plywood on top with an old tablecloth and some craft paper. And above that, I have my camera holder so I can film my videos. And there's the microphone right there. I know that's terribly exciting. And my light right there, just so that I don't get a terrible bunch of shadows on everything. Now as I come over here, I've got my journals, my brayers, my matte medium, various pens and brushes, colored pencils, my Rolodex, more brushes, my foam plate palettes, and then just stuff. A jar for water, a jar to wash brushes in. Nothing terribly exciting, all the things that you would normally find. Then over here, I have all my books. Well, 90% of my books. All sorts, all different languages. Down below it, I have all my rubber stamps. And I have them in very loose categories. I've tried to keep like with like as far as all my Tim Holtz together, all my Hero Arts together. Then down here on the bottom, I've got a giant book of quotes, a few art reference books, and scraps. And up on the top, what a surprise, more books. And my two containers with my ink pads and my jelly plate. Then when you come over here, I rigged up with a piece of pipe my stencil hanging area, which works out great. They're not in any specific order. I am often searching, but that's okay. I hang them up to dry here and it works out great. It's just real handy. I just have the pipe laying from one bookcase over to this one, which is filled with old artwork and almost all of my papers. Scraps, big sheets, small sheets, collage backgrounds that I've made, scrapbook papers, little bit of everything here. Then I've got the stencils I've made hanging here in a bag so that I know right where they are. Then over here, more stencils. And I have them in acrylic frames. They fit perfectly. These are my rectangular ones. These are my square ones. More background papers. An entire bin of words. My soft pastels, my art crayons, chalk pastels, aqua colors, new pastels. Here in the background, all my art foamies. Nice and handy. Some odds and ends back here. Products that I haven't opened and reviewed yet, but I'm going to. Down below that, I have my spray inks, my modeling paste, more odds and ends, makeup sponges, markers, punches, more sponges and stamps, lots of adhesives, all sorts of paints, my spray bottle, my acrylic paints, in no order. I mean, I try to keep warm colors to one side and cool to the other, but it doesn't really matter. I usually am rummaging through. Over here, I have 2 bins and my trash can, which is once again overflowing. More scraps. Then in each of these drawers there are things. Crayons and framing tape. An empty drawer, just a few scraps in that one. Inks, old patterns. All my mark making and handmade stamps are in these next couple drawers. My rusty things and more stamps in the bottom here. On this side, security envelopes, which I really have to either start using or get rid of. Some foam, more oil pastels, some of my downloadables from my website that I like to use in pieces, some backgrounds, rusty papers, some pressed flowers. Yeah, I really need to go through my security envelopes and get rid of some. That's kind of ridiculous. We'll just shut that drawer. These are bits of my childhood. My New York State physical fitness testing record from 1977, which I will incorporate into a piece. In here I have some stickers, some circles, bunches of stamps, the last bits of my Tim Holtz big rolls that he used to sell, and more fashion figures. On this wall, I just have some of my artwork and my CD player, my Rapidograph pen, some CDs, my old typewriter, and oh, what a surprise, more scraps. Well, that's really about it. I mean, I've got artwork stuffed almost everywhere here. I can't seem to quite get everything into one spot. And I still have another work table over on the other side where I do a lot of my cutting. But you know what? It works for me. I get to come down here and play whenever I want. The commute is great. Here's one of the recent pages that I made. And I hope that you have a little place that you can call your own, where you can create and have fun. And I appreciate you looking at this video. Thanks for stopping by, Wild Bird Creative.